Hello everyone, DQ here, and today I am going to be revisiting this lock, which is the Yale 500. For those who are unfamiliar with this lock, this is a 5-pin double Euro cylinder. This one is cut in half, obviously, and it's a very common blue belt lock in Europe. It's very easy to find. And you may ask what exactly makes it blue belt level, because it has only 5 pins. And we'll get to the internals in a moment, but briefly there are 4 spools, one standard, but there is also overmilling on the core, which sometimes makes picking this lock very difficult. Another thing you will notice immediately is that it has the Yale QA, which some people are scared of. In this particular model there are actually holes in the wording, and as you can see this piece of wording here, there are holes in it for the pins, and you can actually access them through the holes with very deep pick. But I won't be doing that, because with my beating I can actually pick with short hook, no problem, each of those pins. And yeah, basically what I do when picking is I go from here, hope you're able to see, like from here, angling my pick, and first I start jiggle testing. Then after the pins are halfway set or in the overmilling stage, I can enter from here if needed with short hook, of course. But yeah, that is the brief summary of this walk, so now let's look at the internals. Okay, so here we have the internals of the walk, and as I explained earlier, in the first glance it's not a big deal, because it actually has only 4 spool drivers and one standard on position 1. Position 1 always has the standard on this model, and they are also steel pins, which add for drill protection. But for the drivers nothing else is interesting. Housing is normal as well, nothing funky. But when you take a look at the core, you may see the overmilling, and this overmilling becomes more common the higher belts you go. A lot of Japanese high security locks like the Go V18 have it. But anyways, what that overmilling does is basically you first, because it's a little bit wider, like it widens the shear line, and you have basically 2 steps to the shear line because of the overmilling. First, you get all the pins in the overmilling. It's it's a straight line. It's not like the barrel milling or gin milling where you have deep cut sideways. It's just widening of the chamber. It's completely circular. And basically, first you have to pick all the pins into the overmilling, then you get super tiny core movement. If you're a beginner, you may not even feel it, but of course first you need to counter rotate the spools and so on. But once you get them, in the overmilling, the core will lose the full set, but will be slightly rotated from the neutral position. And then you have to actually detect which pin is in the overmilling and which is in the shear line, because sometimes when you set the pins, they jump straight from the below the overmilling to the shear line. So it's not guaranteed that every single pin needs to click 2 times to be set. So don't listen to the clicks, feel the jiggle test. For jiggle testing, I advise you to actually, when you jiggle test, apply super heavy tension, like super heavy tension, and with your pick, rest your pick over the key pin, and then with your finger try to push down, and with the middle finger like this, feel if the pin is springy. And 4 of those pins should be springy and 1 should be rock solid. And only when you're certain, if you are not sure, you can test them a bunch of times, and only when you're sure, then you lighten the tension. Don't forget, because you used heavy tension until now, lighten it so you don't break your pick, and then set the pin. And basically that's the way I pick pins from the overmilling. Another thing I wanted to show you, that this lock has paracentric QA, but it's fully negated by those holes in the wording. Like you can see straight from below, which means that basically if you take a super deep hook, if you have some messed beating like almost zero lift on one outro there, I haven't seen Yale 500 with zero lift, they always have to be lifted a little. But if you can't use the short hook like I did to navigate the keyway, you can actually use super deep hook and go from below, like insert your hook here and go through the warding holes and pick the pin from there, or pick it halfway, like at least it could be a little help for you. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this walk. So for picking, I'll be using this short hook. I'll be picking off this piece of the wording here on the right and then twisting my pick around because of the keyway shape. And for tensioner, I just use this Paros tensioner, which could fit in the keyway. And yeah, that's all. Let's pick the lock. Okay, we have the Yale 500 in the vise. It's working very smoothly. Now let's try to pick it. Counterclockwise tension, and as I explained, I start jiggle testing. So pin 2 is jiggly, pin 3 is binding, go the click, pin 4 is binding, go the click, pin 5. I set it, but I dropped another previous set pins. Now pin 2 is giving me counter rotation. Set it, pin 3, small click, pin 4, counter rotation 5, and there is a big chance that I could be in the overmilling stage. Maybe not yet. Okay, now I think I'm in the overmilling. Okay, number 2 was binding, it was in the overmilling, and as you can see, the lock is now picked. It's not extremely difficult walk, but it's really, in my opinion, perfect example of a bull belt walk difficulty. Like, it's not extremely hard, but it's definitely not easy the first time you try it. So yeah, let's get it quickly. Remove the C-clip. Pull out the plug. As you can see, the first pin is still. Okay. Now my tweezers, standard, and the rest are spool pins, basically. Dump out all the springs. And yeah, that's the walk. Let me show you the housing quickly. Let me just flip those pins over. So yeah, let me show you the overmilling again. As you can see, there is additional step. It looks like a serration, but it's actually a widening of the chamber. And yeah, those pins definitely catch there. So yeah, this was the Yale 500 picked and gutted, and I hope this video helps someone who is trying to pick this walk. So yeah, this will be it. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and bye bye.